Right now, we continue our Sports Page Summer of Football, previewing teams in college football going into the 2012 season. Right now, we are pleased to be joined by the head football coach at Memphis, entering his first year, his first off season. Justin Fuente joins us here on the new Sentinel Sports Page. Hey, Coach Fuente, it's Vince Ferrara and Jesse Smithey. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you all doing?
We're doing great. We're hoping to get some knowledge from you, Coach. Football by Fuente, I saw that. Sharing some knowledge to some of your female fans over in Memphis. How have you and the staff been received in Memphis so far?
Well, it's going really well. Of course, it always helps to be undefeated. You know, you when you haven't played any games yet, everybody's optimistic and happy. But we've really tried to reach out to the community, whether people that live in this city went to the University of Memphis or went to another regional Southeastern Conference school or really any school, as long as people live in this area, we've really tried to reach out to them and let them try and touch our program and feel a part of what we're trying to do here. So our reception's been really gone over really well, and I'm looking forward to continuing that.
Justin, I know at times Joker Phillips, the head football coach at Kentucky, talks about how John Calipari helps him recruit. You know, Kentucky is perceived at times to be a basketball school, I think sometimes like Memphis is. What kind of relationship have you been able to establish so far with Josh Pastner and really working together to build really the sports program on the whole at Memphis?
Well, Josh has been great to me. He is pretty refreshing. You know, around here, he's kind of a rock star. Just, you know, really popular, and it's really refreshing to be around a guy like that is so humble and, you know, down to earth. I mean, Josh is a great human being, first and foremost. So he's been great. You know, as a lot of people know, most football players deep in their heart really think they're basketball players anyway. I mean, in my football coaching career, we've had more guys injured in the rec center shooting hoops than out there on the field, just because guys, they love shooting hoops. Football players, for whatever reason, secretly think that they can really play. So Josh has always been open to that aspect and really helped us out. So I have really enjoyed it. You know, you never really know what it's going to be like until you get on the ground, but being around Josh and seeing the type of person he is and how he's really wants the football program to do well has been refreshing.
We're joined by first-year head coach at Memphis, Justin Fuente, who spent 5 years at TCU, including the last 3 years as co-offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. And, Coach, is as big a challenge as you have maybe flushing for the players that return, that have been through the struggles recently of the football team, is flushing all that past as big a challenge as you have there at Memphis?
Well, absolutely. I mean, if you look at this program and you just look at what we have and you start to see our practice facility and the way the university and the community has stepped up financially to help us from a facility standpoint, from our beautiful brand new locker room to our new team meeting room, recruiting lounge, you know, everything that we've got here is really first class. But you look at the problem, and really the thing that needs the most attention is the team. You know, they have just been beaten down over the last several years, lack of confidence, lack of accountability, lack of work ethic, all those things that make up a good football program, basically we're lacking. You know, we were not lacking in good kids. We just had to find a way to bring that out in them. So that's been the foremost emphasis for us, is not how to run double post or how to play cover 4 or some new fancy scheme, but getting the heart and soul of our football team back, giving these guys some confidence while still telling them, you know, the workload that it's going to take in order to give yourself a chance to be successful is a pretty high workload. And I'm not sure that we've attained that over the last few years. And trying to raise that level while still giving those guys confidence has been our main focus.
Justin, when you go speak in public, whether it's a booster club event or what have you, and you're trying to generate excitement in the community, but also try to get fans to maybe temper that excitement in year one, how hard is that to balance that and keep them realistic that, this is year one for you?
Well, that's a good point, and I have tried to do my best to explain to them all the wonderful things that we do have going on. From a fan perspective at the Liberty Bowl, we're putting the fifth biggest jumbotron in the United States of America in the Liberty Bowl. We're putting new turf, new lights, new sound system, redoing concession stands, giving it a makeover on the outside. We're 2 years ago, the city spent $17 million on state-of-the-art, one of the nicest tailgating areas in the country. So there's so many things for people to be excited about when it comes to that. And, I really tried to sell them on getting in on the ground floor. We are going to make this thing work. This thing is going to get pointed in the right direction because we have the support of the powers that be in the community and in the university. We're ready to get this thing done right. So I think it's important to tell people the vision, tell people how we're going to get it done, but also, you can't go out there making ridiculous claims. You gotta be realistic and let them know that they have an opportunity to look back in 4 or 5 years and say, we did this, we built this.
Visiting with Justin Fuente, who's the head football coach at Memphis here in our Sports Page Summer of Football. Vince Ferrara and Jesse Smithey. Coach, let's talk about your team on offense. Kind of run us through scheme-wise what the plan is, and then some of the key things about your team offensively to look for.
Well, I'm really excited about our quarterback. In short, he was a highly recruited kid out of Houston, signed with Texas Tech to play for Mike Leach and throw the ball all over the yard. We all know what happened to Coach Leach there at Texas Tech. And kind of found himself in a different offense and kind of behind the eight ball. And in kind of a refreshing part of this story is in this day and time of basically guys that, whine and complain about their lot in life. Jacob, our quarterback, just kind of pulled himself up by his bootstraps and graduated from college in 2.5 years, made himself eligible to transfer and play immediately. With still 2 more years of eligibility. So we were fortunate enough to get him to come here, and he's been a great leader for us. So he's got 2 years to play. From the day he set foot on campus, he's just done a great job leading the offense, teaching the kids how to work, what's expected of them. So I'm excited about him. We have some young, skilled kids that have a chance to be really, really good. Offensively, we only have 2 seniors, a preseason all-conference offensive lineman, Jordan Debbie, that has a chance to be pretty good, and then Marcus Rucker is a senior wide receiver from here in town that has a pretty impressive skill set. But a majority of our guys are just young. We've got 5 or 6 young wide receivers that I think have a chance to be as good as anybody's, but they're freshmen and sophomores. So it's good to have a little bit older quarterback in there to kind of help navigate it around. One of the developmental positions that we've got to find a way to improve at is running back from the spring. I wasn't very happy about that, but I've been encouraged at almost every other spot by the development of the young kids.
And a quick word on your defense, Coach?
Well, defensive line has been the most pleasing spot. Usually when guys take over jobs, that's the first spot that doesn't look very good just because they're so darn hard to come by. But I've been pleased with our defensive line, kind of the oldest and most physically mature part of our defense. We've still got work to do in the secondary, but have some good young players that we're plugging into the program that I'm looking forward to developing quickly and throwing them out there.
Coach, as I look down the Memphis schedule, there's some intriguing games at Arkansas State, certainly with Gus Malzahn there, September 22nd at Duke. David Cutcliffe, a lot of people around these parts know him very well. But, as I keep going down, there's no game with Tennessee. And I know in the past there have been certain Memphis coaches, more so on the basketball side, that say they don't want to play Tennessee. Do you have a take on that at all? Does it matter to you one way or the other if Tennessee's on Memphis' football schedule?
Well, I have have an opinion about scheduling, I think you need to be smart about your non-conference schedule. The schedule for this year and the schedule for next year, basically, Tom Bowen, our new athletic director, and I basically inherited it. It was set when we got here, so we didn't have much say over that. And I think you'll see our future schedule. We've rescheduled a series with Ole Miss. I don't mind playing the University of Tennessee. I just don't want to play, quite honestly, half of the Southeastern Conference. Playing a game like that is okay with me. It's just we need to make sure we handle the rest of the non-conference schedule accordingly. So, I think it's good for the state. I think it's, obviously good for fans and in a fun situation. But, big picture-wise, I think it's a good game as long as we understand what the rest of the games need to be.
Coach, real quick, final thing. We appreciate your time. Do you know Derek Dooley or anyone on this Tennessee staff right now?
No, I do not.
Okay.
In short,
well,
I know of Coach Dooley, but I do not. I do not know him. No.
All right. Well, Coach, we appreciate it. Exciting new things happening at Memphis. Thanks so much, Coach. We'll look for you. We'll follow you guys this year, and we appreciate your time.
You bet. Thanks, guys.
All right. That is Justin Fuente, first-year head coach at Memphis.